Hello everyone, I welcome you all to a day 4 editorial of our 21 days mobile development challenge. And today's task is we have to make a page for updating the data which we saved during the day 2 task. So yeah, we have to make a this page for updating our data one by one. Here's a reference for today's task. Let's see it. So you click the button, it enables the update feature. You fill the data and you update the data here. So I think it's pretty straightforward. Okay, so let's get right on to into that. Here is our day 2 task where we created the sign up page. Let's do this. Okay, uh, we want these data here because we will fill this data only, and then that's when only we'll update it. But we will create a different page for it, and we'll name the page as update details. Okay, let's create a stateful widget because of course these forms and etc. will obviously need a stateful widget. We'll call it update details. Yeah, cool. Now we obviously need these data, so we'll just copy it from the sign up page. We'll copy everything and adjust accordingly. So let's just copy this. Name is being used, right? So let's just copy name also. Control C. Sorry. So let's copy all of this and paste it here in our new page. So obviously we need to import this because in this page these are not imported. And you remember last time I told you in day 2 task that you need to make these function on press function on your own for these two guys. I showed you how to do this for this, but I didn't show you how to do this for this. So let's make that also. Uh, we need an on tap function, but we don't need a function like this. Let's copy this function and we'll use this only in both of them. And we'll just add it in the member variable fields so that we can pass this onChange function. And here we don't have to pass the onChange function directly, but we have to call it. So we'll just call it widget dot onChange and we'll call it with this date. Okay, so now whenever we set this date, this function will be called from the parent and it will send the data from the parent and we'll have this date available in the parent. Okay, let's do the same with okay, let's do the same with uh, custom drop down also. Here also we'll just add the feature for onChanged. Here also we'll add the feature for onChanged and we'll import it properly. And then where we are setting it, we'll just say widget.onChanged selected value. Okay, now this function will be called whenever we select the values, and parent will also have the selected value available to it. Now obviously we have to pass it here also since we made it there. Remove the cons because the value will be changing. Change this to value. Now this value will be available to us and we need to set it. So I think everything is working fine. One thing we saw in the editorial that this form was not available. So from the start we need to click a button to make it available. So for that what we need to do is we need to make a button and then make it available. So we'll just have a variable here. Variable will say show update. Okay, and firstly it's set to false, that initially it's not available, and we need to let's change this data so that it corresponds to update rather than submit. So we need to put this data in the if in an if else control flow, so that they can be shown only when this thing is true. And when will this thing be true? When we'll click a button and make it true. So let's so for using an if case, we want to make all of this disappear. So it makes sense to make all of this a complete widget rather than separate widget. Right now they are separate widget, so we need to put an if case everywhere. We'll have to put an if case here, 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 put an if case here. We don't want that, so let's put them all inside a column so that we can group them together. So let's wrap them with a column, and here we'll just use if show update simple. If it is true, then only we'll show this data. Well, of course you will not be able to see here because we have not updated. What is wrong with the sign up page? Okay, here also we need to change this, because obviously we updated, right? So obviously need to change this the main.dart to show the our update page, not the sign up page. So we'll just say show update details page, and here is there is another update details. I need to save this first, and we need to save the files, otherwise it won't work. You see, now the error has been gone because we didn't save the file. So you see, we don't see anything, but it is there. Whenever we click a button, it will appear. So now let's create the value to store things. So for now, we'll create two variables. One which will be a final variable, which will show the actual data. One which will be the temporary variable, which we will set to the final variable when we want to update it. I'll show you what I'm going to do. So I'm going to create here for f final well, final name is equal to, let's say, my name. Similarly, for final email is equal to my email. Example.com. For final gender is equal to, let's say, male, and for final DOB is this. But these values are absolute. We don't want to change them unless the user select update button. So for other things, like whenever we click the change anything on the text field, set state is called, and these variable will be modified if we assign them to this thing here. So for that, we'll just have some simple variables like var name is equal to nothing, var email is equal to nothing, and var gender is equal to nothing, var dob is equal to nothing. So we will change these variables, and whenever user select yes, I'm confirmed that I want this data to be my final data, we'll update this, and then this value will be set to this variable. I'll show you how. So for now, let's create some text to show our not this. Let's create some text. So I'll have a text here. Text name slash final name. Yeah, I want this. Let's give it a style too. Style Text style, we now want a color of colors dot white. We want a font size to be something bigger, so like let's see 20. Where is it? Yeah, it's appearing here. Okay, I think font weight also we need. Font weight, font weight dot 500. I think it's okay now. We want this text to appear here. Let's give this column some padding, but before that let's change the main axis alignment. Okay, before that let's create 4 other text. It will be called email. Here it will be final email. It will be called gender. Here it will be final gender. Here it will be called DOB. It will be final DOB. Okay, we want this all to be aligned at the start, so let's wrap these also with the column. Or just change this column's alignment to cross axis alignment dot start. So it will come here, but it's closely stuck to the edge. We can give this column some padding, wrap with padding, and give this a 20 padding. So I think, yeah, this looks good. We need a button here. Let me get an elevated button. It will have this on press function, and I want this on press function. So do this. I want it to mark show update as true. So whenever we click this, and we'll call it enable update. So whenever I click this enable update, okay, I cannot assign a string here, right? It takes a type of widget, so we'll give it a text. Enable update, and now I think it will work completely fine. So let's give it some vertical padding. Insert dot symmetric. Insert symmetric. Vertical. Now whenever you click this, the show update will get itself to true, and then this would appear. Okay, so all we want to do is whenever some user select all of this data and sets update as okay, this data will change. That's our final step remaining. So we are here, name is already been setting. We'll just set here set state. Don't even need to use set state here. I'll set email as this value. Password we don't need to worry about. Set state will be date of birth. Here it will be set state gender is equal to value. Okay, now when user select final update, what I want to do is set all those final value as our these temporary variables value, these things. So set state final name is equal to final name is equal to name. Final gender will be equal to gender. Final DOB will be equal to DOB. Final email will be equal to email, and whenever user clicks update, these things will be set and these things will be updated. So let's check this out whether it's working or not. Enable update. Let's say I want to have a name Aman, not Aman. Let's say I want to name a Vicky, and email should be like text@gmail.com. Password, let's leave it. You can also put a validation check for password. That was, you can do that yourself. Let's say others. Okay, you see our text is being updated, and it's that was what was the task was all about. So I hope you understood it. Thank you.